Welcome to Glorious Past. Today, we bring you a powerful tale from the ancient Tamil epic Manimekalai, a masterpiece of Tamil literature. This episode takes us on a journey with the young heroine Manimekalai as she searches for truth, wisdom, and the path to enlightenment. Join us as we unravel the divine mysteries of karma, fate, and redemption in this fascinating chapter. Manimekalai soared through the air, her heart pounding with excitement and longing. She had traveled far, driven by a deep desire to see the image of her mother, the chaste and righteous Kanaki. She descended at the outskirts of Vanji, where Kanaki's temple stood in solemn majesty, a place of worship and remembrance. As she entered, a wave of devotion washed over her, and she bowed before the altar, her eyes brimming with tears. Her voice trembled as she prayed, seeking answers to a question that had haunted her for long. Why did Kanaki choose to destroy the city of Madura by fire, rather than following the path of widowhood and penance like other virtuous women? As if in response, the divine presence of Kanaki stirred within the temple, and her voice echoed through the sacred space. "I could not bear the unjust murder of my beloved Kovalan," the goddess declared. "In my wrath, I set the city ablaze. But what befell us was not mere fate, it was the result of our own past karma." Manimekalai listened intently as her mother revealed the tragic cycle of cause and effect that had shaped their destinies. In his past life, Kovalan was a traitor named Barathan in Singapuram, Kanaki continued. Jealous of his rival Sangaman, he falsely accused him of being a spy, leading to his execution. Overcome with grief, Sangaman's wife, Neeli, threw herself off a high hill, cursing those who had wronged them. Her curse followed us into this life, and thus, Kovalan was wrongfully slain. Even after I learned of this, my anger did not subside, and I burned Madura to the ground. Though my husband and I dwell among the Devas now, our karma still binds us, and we must return to the cycle of birth and death until we attain nirvana. Manimekalai's heart ached with the weight of these revelations, but Kanaki's voice carried a message of hope. "My daughter, your journey has only begun," she said. "You will soon hear the doctrines of many sects, but they will not satisfy you. Only the teachings of the Buddha, as imparted by the holy Aravana, will guide you to the truth. But as the world does not always take kindly to wisdom from a young woman, you must disguise yourself before seeking knowledge." With reverence, Manimekalai bowed to the sacred image and left the temple. Transforming herself into the form of a holy man, she entered the grand city of Vanji, a place renowned for its wisdom, prosperity, and beauty. Vanji was ruled by the mighty Charan Changadavan, a king whose conquests had taken him beyond the Ganges to the very foothills of the Himalayas. Manimekalai wandered the bustling streets, marveling at the city's grandeur. The markets teemed with traders selling rare spices, gleaming gems, and exquisite fabrics. Streets bustled with artisans, potters, sculptors, musicians, and goldsmiths, all immersed in their crafts. In the heart of the city, scholars debated the philosophies of life, while temples and monasteries stood as testaments to faith and devotion. Manimekalai visited 10 different sects, each presenting their beliefs with conviction. But none could satisfy the yearning within her soul. She shed her disguise and set out to find the holy Aravana, along with her mother's companions, Madhavi and Sathamathi. Yet, they were nowhere to be found. Her search led her to a great Buddhist monastery, where she encountered an aged monk, Mazathuvan, her grandfather. Overcome with emotion, she bowed before him and shared her journey. "My child," the old man said with deep compassion, "I renounced the world after the tragedy that befell our family. I came to Vanji to worship at the temple built by our ancestor, a devout follower of the Buddha. The wise men here foresaw the doom of Kavarapatnam, and so I remained in the city, waiting for enlightenment. I have learned that your father will continue in the cycle of rebirth until he hears the teachings of the Buddha and attains nirvana. As for the holy Aravana, he has gone to Kanaki, where a great famine has struck. It is there that you must go, for the people suffer, and you hold the power to save them." Determined, Manimekalai took to the skies, her sacred bowl in hand, and flew towards Kanaki. The sight that greeted her below was heartbreaking. Fields lay barren, rivers had dried, and the city once radiant with life now lay desolate. She circled the city, descending into its very heart. Her arrival was soon reported to the king. "The daughter of Kovalan, the pure-hearted maiden, has arrived like a blessing from the heavens, bearing the divine bowl." The king himself rushed to see her, his face heavy with sorrow. "Fair one," he said, "our land has been cursed with drought, and my people suffer. In a vision, a deity foretold your coming, saying that your charity would bring the rains. By divine command, I have built a sacred tank and garden, waiting for the moment when salvation would arrive." Manimekalai beheld the tank and the garden, and was filled with joy. She placed her sacred bowl on a holy seat and, with a voice full of compassion, called to the suffering, "Come, all who hunger, let none be left to starve." The starving masses gathered, orphans, the sick, the elderly, even animals and birds. And as they ate, the divine bowl continued to fill itself, never emptying, feeding all who came. As if in response to her boundless compassion, the skies darkened and rain poured down upon the land, washing away the sorrows of the people. The holy Aravana, hearing of these wondrous events, returned to Kanchi with Madhavi and Satyamathi. Manimekalai rushed to meet him, her heart overflowing with gratitude. She knelt before him, washing his feet and offering him food with reverence. "My child," he said, blessing her, "your good deeds shall bear fruit, and you shall find the path to true enlightenment." Manimekalai bowed deeply, her soul at peace. The city of Kanchi flourished once more, and the suffering of its people was lifted. But her journey was not yet complete. The path of wisdom stretched before her, and with unwavering faith, she was ready to follow it. And thus, Manimekalai's quest for truth continued. Her story is one of faith, karma, and redemption, an enduring lesson from the ancient world. If you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Glorious Past for more incredible stories from history and literature. Until next time.